Hi all. In this section, I would like to discuss on moment of inertia, which is a term you frequently encounter when studying about rotational motion of objects. So, before discussing on moment of inertia, I would like to discuss on the concept of inertia and the law of inertia, which is the Newton's first law of motion, according to which an object at rest tends to stay at rest and an object in motion tend to stay in motion with constant velocity unless it is acted upon by an external force. That is, if an object is at rest, it will continue to be at rest, and if it is moving with a uniform velocity, it will continue to be move in uniform velocity unless it is acted upon by an external force. This ability of an object to stay in rest or in uniform motion is known as its inertia. Or we can say inertia is the property of an object to oppose the change in state of rest or uniform motion. So there is an inbuilt tendency of an object to oppose its change of state of uniform motion or rest. This is known as inertia. Now, next question is how can we measure inertia? So, mass is a measure of inertia, or inertia can be measured as in terms of mass. So, an object with higher mass will have higher inertia, an object with lower mass will have lower inertia. That means an object with higher mass will have a higher tendency to oppose the change of state that we already know. So we need to apply a force. According to Newton's law, a force is required to change the state. So if we apply some force, it will start to move if it was already at rest. Or if it is moving with a uniform velocity, it will change the velocity. That is, the object get accelerated. Now, the acceleration the object obtain will be proportional to the force, and also it depends on the mass of the object. That means we need a higher force to accelerate an object of higher mass than an object of lower mass. So we can say mass is a measure of inertia of the object. Now, moving on to rotational motion. The rotational motion is induced by the rotating effect of force or moment of force, which is known as torque. If we apply torque to an object, it gets some angular acceleration and start a rotational motion. And there is a tendency within the object to resist this rotational motion, which is known as rotational inertia, and moment of inertia is the measure of rotational inertia, or it is the measure of resistance to rotational motion. So that is why we call it as the rotational analog of mass. Mass is a measure of inertia and moment of inertia is the measure of rotational inertia or resistance of an object to rotational motion. Now, how can we calculate moment of inertia? So, moment of inertia of an object is the sum of products of masses of each particle in the object and square of its distance from the given axis of rotation. So, if you have an object composed of individual point masses of mass m1, m2, m3, etc. at a distance, at a perpendicular distance r1, r2, r3 from the rotating axis. So, we can only define moment of inertia with respect to a rotating axis. So, for a given axis, if we have masses m1, m2, m3, etc. at a perpendicular distance from axis r1, r2, r3, etc., then we can calculate moment of inertia as sum of product of each mass and square of this perpendicular distance. That is, moment of inertia is equal to m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square plus etc. Or we can say moment of inertia is sum over I mi ri square. Moment of inertia determined by the mass of the object, because m is involved in the calculation. It will depend on the mass of the object, or in this case mass of each individual point masses within the object, and also the distance of each point masses from the axis of rotation. Or we can say moment of inertia depends on the mass of the rotating object and also the distribution of mass of the object about the axis of rotation. So, in conclusion, we can say moment of inertia depends on three factors. Moment of inertia of an object depend on, or the resistance an object has to rotational motion depends on its mass of the object. The position and direction of rotating axis depends on the axis of rotation, and also the distribution of mass about the axis of rotation. That is, if we consider two objects of same dimension but of different mass, these two will have different moment of inertia because they are having different mass. So a sphere of higher mass will have higher moment of inertia, that means higher resistance to rotational motion compared to a sphere of lower mass of same dimension. Second is, moment of inertia depends on the axis of rotation. Suppose if we consider a rod, the moment of inertia of the same rod with respect to an axis passing through its center will be different from the moment of inertia of the same rod about an axis passing through its edge. So, in this case, we can say the mass of the rod is at a smaller distance from the axis of rotation compared to this case in which the masses are at a higher distance or distributed through to an higher distance. So, in this case, the MI square or MR square calculation will have higher value compared to this axis. So, we can say it is easier to rotate. Moment of inertia is lesser means it is easier to rotate a rod about an axis passing through its center than an axis through its edge. So, the second parameter on which this value of moment of inertia is going to depend is axis of rotation. And the third one is distribution of mass about axis of rotation. That is, for that, if we consider moment of inertia of a disk and a ring about similar axis, that is the axis passing through center. So, we are calculating the moment of inertia of a disk about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane. Similarly, moment of inertia of a ring about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane. And suppose if these two objects have same mass. So, mass is same, axis is similar. Still, moment of inertia will be different because in the case of disk, the mass is distributed to a smaller distance also compared to the ring in which the mass is distributed at a constant distance and which is at a longer distance compared to the disk. Moment of inertia of the ring about this axis will be higher compared to moment of inertia of disk because in this case the mass is distributed uniformly at a uniform distance, say radius of the ring, and in the case of disk, part of the mass is distributed at a shorter distance compared to the ring. So, even though a mass of disk and ring is same and the axis is similar, the disk will have a smaller moment of inertia compared to that of the ring because the distribution of mass is at a larger distance in ring. So, moment of inertia value will depend on the mass of distribution of mass. Hence, the moment of inertia of a disk in which the mass is distributed at smaller distances also will be lower compared to that of a ring. Hence, we can say it is easier to rotate a disk about an axis passing through center compared to a ring of same mass about the similar axis, that is the axis passing through its center. Now, how we calculate this moment of inertia? For a point object at a distance r from the axis of rotation, consider a point object of mass m at a distance r from the axis of rotation. Then moment of inertia of this point object about this axis of rotation will be m into r square, where r is the perpendicular distance between the axis and the object. Now, if it is a rigid body is an object in which interparticle distance is constant. In that case, the object can be considered to be composed of particles of individual mass m1, m2, m3, etc. So that moment of inertia is m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square, m3 r3 square, or sum over I mi Ri square as we discussed earlier. Now, how can we calculate the moment of inertia if the mass is continuously distributed? In that case, moment of inertia can be calculated by considering an infinitesimally small element of mass dm at a distance r, perpendicular distance r from the axis of rotation. Suppose this is the axis of rotation of a continuous object and we are considering an infinitesimally small mass dm at a distance r from the axis. So the moment of inertia of that small mass about the axis of rotation is dm r square. Now, if we need to find out the moment of inertia of the entire object, we need to integrate this over the entire region of mass or the entire region of this object. So, integrating dm r square, you can find the moment of inertia of a continuous body. This equation is which we are going to use further for the calculation of moment of inertia of different objects like ring, cylinder, sphere, etc. That we will discuss in next session.